So yeah, let's get cracking. First up, we've got Sandhya Yatham, the Head of Development at QA, in QA at Cegedim. Sandhya's going to be talking about automating the future, transforming testing for faster results. So give her a big round of applause. Oh, what's the water? I'll tell you what, that's magic. I also will say, we were a bit flustered, a little bit late tonight, because Sandhya managed to park in a gated entrance that I don't even know how she got in there, and we're a little bit late, so enjoy your talk.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Sandhya Yatham. Srikanth Venkatramana, I forgot even my name. They call me Sandy in my office, and I have two lovely boys, developers, Amma and Oma, just come all the way for me to say hi. Yeah, excellent. Let's crack on and see what is there. What am I going to talk to you on? So automating the future, it's on automation. So I'm not going to talk much on AI because we have two lovely guys here. Another one talking on automation and AI, which I'm not going to touch much, but I'm basically going to little bit into it to see what I'm going to say. So how many of you here are technical and how many of you are non-technical? So technical, can you lift your hands for me, please? Most of you, if I mumble, you'll find out, do you? That's the reason I asked. So excellent, then go on. So where are we now? So before talking into automation, I just want to give you some context. What am I talking to you about? Why is this automation a big deal? And so before giving all the information what I'm going to talk to you on, I thought I'll give you a context. And you can see my slides are all very colorful. Unfortunately, you can't see from there, but there you go. So at the moment, are we anything lacking? Are we less in 2025? No, we are doing very well. Automation is going very well. We have loads of tools like Selenium, Cypress, Playwright. We have loads of tools. We're keeping very well. And with technology dominance, everything is going well. CI/CD platform, why do we need it? We need it to make sure no matter how good your testing is, you need to know what you've tested is working or not. You need to know whether it's error or working or any problems with that. And another thing, the best friend at the moment, talk of the universe, what is it? Two-letter word, AI, is dominating everything. And this all will be taken by that. And the last thing is skill gap. The skill gap is still there. No matter how good you are with your skills, how much you know, how many tools are there, no matter AI is dominating everything, you need to have your skills to do it. But that is 2025. You might have questions on that. Hold on a second till I finish the presentation to see what's happening. So, starting with automation. What is automation? Why do we need to automate? What is wrong with manual? Nothing is wrong with manual at all. We need manual, yes. But automation is a thing. For example, most of you are technical, but still give me something analogy for non-technical people as well. If you wash 10 glasses, it's perfectly fine. 20, perfectly fine. 30 glasses or 100 glasses in a restaurant. How many can you wash in a hand, dry it and things? That's what dishwashers are there. They do your job very quickly, make your life easier. So what is that manual handling? Repetition of tasks, doing the same thing again and again is boring. That is what is automation, which makes your life very easy. So you have a repetitive task. No matter how much you like your job, how much you do, even any job, how much can you do repetitive? Can you do everything repetitively? Is it easier? Don't you think even which you love, it becomes boring for you? The reason is, as a human being, we can only think of so much. And even your shopping list, you have 20 in your list, you tick sometimes the third you'll miss and you go to the fourth one or fifth one. You're simple missing the 21. If the 21 you keep on repeating it, that's loads of human errors and handling. That is what automation is, where you come, you put the script in and it does the job for you. But let me wait, if you have questions, I'll come to you on that. So it also streamlined the workflow. I have something, notes as well before I forget. What are the benefits? Speed and efficiency, because it's very speed and it's efficiency, and repeatability and consistency, because you can repeat the task. Now I'm not doing any hands-on work, but 6 years before, I worked for part of a Zoom company. So what happened is, in that time when the UI app was developed, I have to test that time and AI, not AI, what is it called as? Firefox, Edge, and what we had something called? Chrome, AE, no. IE, exactly, that's the word. IE is what I'm looking for. So IE, Safari, and I have a reputation. It's a UI task. It's nearly 100 tasks plus I had. I have to test on Safari. I have to test on Chrome. I have to test on IE, Edge, Firefox. How will I do that? Don't you think it's so manual? And I'll forget it. And you know what? Who our clients are? One of the JPL clients, all of the lawyers, solicitors, massive companies. And you know, a solicitor company, if you make a mistake, they'll pick you on it very well. So to avoid that reputation task, that is what I come up with Selenium. And that is a new web thing because it came up in COVID time and we got accreditation from Microsoft as well. So that was amazing, and because of that, 40% of our manual labor was reduced. Not only that, we found the bugs very, very, very early, even before going out. So how amazing is it? Still, we do get bugs with automation testing, but they are very minimal. So what are the things? And scalability. So example, the main important thing as a tester or anyone, what we need to think is the scalability. Now, for example, Netflix, imagine that. Netflix is started now by me, for example, and I have 2 customers, only 2 of you like it. All of a sudden, word of mouth spreads, and you all want to be a thing. So I have to be imagining the future. That is scalability. Well, I can cope up with everything. Well, I can automate all this. Am I able to scale things? And am I able to extend this? So that is what is automation is. Automating is something that makes your life very easier. It cost effective is very important thing the company is looking into it. It's a bug free. I'm not saying it's 100% bug free. No matter what it is, you will still, but most is completely reduced it. So that is one of the best thing why we need to automate. So you told me, Sandy, why we need to automate. Okay, make our life easier, less time consuming, cost effective, bugs, so it doesn't be the client, they don't complain. Well, okay, we understood that. What is next? What is getting automated? How we automate it? As you all, if you're technical, you all know there are 3 types of testing we do. One is unit testing, one is functional testing, one is non-functional. I'll make it very simple and easy. Unit testing. For example, take a Lego. You're building robotic Lego, robot Lego, something like that. So you build a hand, right hand, left hand, body, left leg, right leg. That is called unit. Where developer tests one code at a time, and they all before test unit at a time. This unit is working, that unit is working. Before everything, they put together, and that's what the developers do. So mostly at the moment in UK, unit testing is done by developers. So after that, okay, the code is done. Well done, Sandy. How is automation testing going to work? Something comes in life, it's called as functional testing and non-functional testing. What is functional testing? Very simple analogy again. A car, we got requirements for a tester, and they said you need to test it. So what is functional requirements in that is making sure is the car working, car door can open, engine can start, wipers can go. That is all functional testing. Basic requirements are we made. When it comes to UI, when you're able to log in the page, when you're able to validate the page, you go to ask the website, you ask for milk, it gives you milk, rather than give you crisp or pizza or anything. So the requirement is basic functional. That is all about functional testing. So after that, it comes non-functional testing. Well done, okay, the car is built, the engine is working, we can open the door, the wipers are going, all perfectly fine. So that's functional. What is important is that's to the job? No, very important is non-functional testing comes in, where you hit the gear, well it goes 100 miles, 200 miles, 300 miles, with the job. The performance is very, very important. Nowadays, our life is so busy. Even a kid, anything up, something goes wrong, can't wait. Why is that? Because no patience. That is low testing as well. So these things which is hidden behind are called as non-functional testing. So when it comes to functional testing, I have some examples written it down. Hopefully I get it right on this one. So user interface, business logic, data handling, and API, it all comes under functional testing. So when it comes to non-functional testing, it sees mainly the performance. Is it doing its job properly? It is supposed to do. Scalability, can we scale? What is scalability? It's nothing. We are looking into small scale. As the company goes by, the insurance company, too many customers come in, we can extend our code and we can test it. That is scalability. and making sure its application is user friendly when you do it, whether you can understand. No matter how amazing the iPhone is, if you can't do the basic job it can't do, the iPhone is no good, is it? The same thing. Compatibility. So you have said, okay, I have, for example, Netflix, again I'll bring it. Okay, I have Netflix, my son has Android phone and I have Apple phone. So can I get a different Netflix account for that? No, it has to be compatible to Android or Chinese phone or a Japanese phone, whatever phone it is, the compatibility has to be there. So those comes in the non-functional testing. So as you know, non-functional testing are load testing, security testing, compatible testing, usable testing. These all comes under these kind of testing. So we know why we need automation testing and we know what are the types of testing. Perfect, Sally. Then what happens next? Now, okay, we have everything. Now we need to know, we need automation and we know what kind of automation things are there. Okay, how are we going to use it? Which we know what to use it. When do we use it? What are the tools available? So these are the tools available. So for examples, when it comes to web app testing, you have Selenium, and when it comes to mobile testing, a PM is there. When it comes to API, that is a backend. Backend is something which has to interact with the front end to speak together. So that we have REST API testing, Postman, my favorite testing. And when I'm talking about the non-functional testing, so the load testing, whether it performs, whether it picks up the speed. For example, you finish your work, you want to go home, Netflix, you're on the Netflix. We all switch the same time. So what happens? Does it pick up the load or it's hanging around? So load testing is one of the important very testing as well. Security testing, very, very important. Banking sector or any sector, OSWAP or Burp Suite is something. If any penetration tester is here, they use loads of Burp Suite testing. So these are the kind of testing. So how do we know it? We need to see what is the application type is. We do need to do web application, are we doing API, are we doing mobile testing? We need to think, what does the company wants? And what is our developers work on? Or what is a web application? What is the language we are working on? What do we need? So when we look into that and the cost of the project requirements, that is a very, very important thing. When we know all these things, deciding which tool we need, it's not a big thing at all. So now we know why we need automation testing. We know what are the automation testing, and now we know what is the tools, because tools are very, very important. Excellent. So now, as I said, we saw all the basics. We know why we need them. What are the tools we need them? Okay, Sandy, what happens next? That is a major important thing. What happens next is how we work with it. So let me bring my notes back before I forget things. So we have everything, the customers have come, we got the requirements, everything is handed ready. So once the requirement is there, we have a big piece of work to be done. So how do we do it? When it comes to the tester, we need to think of a strategy. What are we automating? Are we going to automate everything? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible, but do we need it? That's the question we need to ask. Do we need it? If it's a repeatable task, yes, you need to do it. Why? Because if it's not, you waste hours and days, a long time. That's not necessary. So that is what the test strategy is. You need to think. You have to still do manual testing. They're not on. They are important though. So you need to think what needs to be manual tested, what needs to be automated testing. That is the test strategy. Okay, Sandy, I got the requirements. I know what I'm going to do. What is the next framework? The tools we discussed. What framework are you using? Are you using web application? Are you testing API? Are you testing mobile? So you need to know your framework. That comes in. Very important. Because the reason is you need to make sure it's a data-driven one. What is data-driven one? When you make a programming or something testing, it has to work for everything. You bake a cake, for example, you make a chocolate cake. And you need to understand, you can make the same ingredients apart from chocolate. The same thing, you can make a blueberry cake or raspberry cake or strawberry cake, whatever cake you need to make. It's just the requirements change as it goes by. Those are the important things. So we got the framework, we got the strategy, we got the framework. What is the basic important thing? It's the test cases. So test scripts are very, very important. You need to write, and making sure the test scripts are one of the important things. As I've seen, you keep writing a test case, long thing. In case I leave the job, you leave the job, the test test cases should be something understandable to anyone who picks up. You need to give annotation. You need to make sure those test scripts, you make any lines or mistake, they have to be reusable, they have to be understandable, and they have to be easily recreated as well. Those are the important things you would think. Well done, Sandy. Okay, we done the framework, we done the strategy, we got the tools what we use, we started writing the test case. No matter how very good a car is, unless you drive and see it passed or failed, then you know the proof, is it? So what happens? That is what one of the tools we use is our CID platform, where you run the test cases and you get the report. What is a report useful for? The report is useful for whatever you worked hard, whatever you've written, whatever your test case, is it working? Is it does do the job? So you get a report saying that yes, it's passed, yes, it's failed. But the good thing is, if it's say, for example, your car is stopped in the middle of the road and you don't know what is the problem, that is not nice, is it? Because you need to figure out what is happening. But now, the things are very good. If the car is saying, oh, your wind water is less, or oil is less, your brake is not working, so it gives you a report. What do you know? Because you know where you can need to go and fix the report, rather than you looking at the whole picture and trying to fix it. That's not going to help, is it? That is what the report is. So you have the framework, you have the strategy, you start writing the test, you put into the thing, and you got the result. That means you know how much is passed, how much is failed, test working, good, happy, you get all the information. So what happens next? Okay, Sandy, that's good. Close the book, let's go home. No, because the thing is, we are all developing. It moves, changes rapidly every time. So you need to maintain. That is very, very important. So at the moment, we looked into what is automation. We looked at what are the types of automation, what are the tools we use, and how we use it. Hopefully I'm clear, I'm not rushing or faster. Okay, it's not end though, unfortunately. You have to still listen to me a little bit more. Pros and cons. As you know, automation pros is increased efficiency, faster feedback because we are delivering quickly, and improved accuracy. The cons are, yes, initial investment, it's not like manual testing, do it right now. It has to, we have to develop the code, we have to work on it, but the good thing is you can use it, reuse it, repeatable, and then you will reap the benefit. Maintenance cost, effort which can't be changed. Skill gaps, yes, that is there. You need to know how to use it, what language to use, what coding to use, what tool to use, how to build a framework, yes. Tool selection, if you're not very sure, you will get confused with tool selections, flaky test. Oh, Sandy, there are too many cons and pros. But hold on there, that's where the changes are going to come. The cons are not going to be cons anymore as the future is changing. So when I looked into it, I know most of you people are here, if you're testers or developers, you know this old story of what is automation, what is the benefit, what are you telling me, Sandy, what is different? As I said, for past 5-6 years, I don't have much hands-on experience because I'm into leadership roles. So I asked my sister who works for Apple in San Jose. So I asked, what are you doing? What are you trying to do? What is anything changed? She told me something called shift cell testing automation. I was very impressed. So I started to Google this information. That is very, very interesting for you as well. If you, anyone heard about shift cell automation? Oh, a few people. Oh, that's good then. Yeah, excellent. So even if I mumble, just don't ignore me, okay? Shift cell automation is nothing different. It's still automation, but it's something completely different. For example, people who not used it, you'll be surprised about it. So as it goes by, as I said, any automation will reduce the cost, improve software quality, identity to fix early. So what is different, Sandy? The difference is coming. I'm not going to do this sorry much. It's the same thing, reduce cost, faster time to market, enhance collaboration, better satisfaction. Okay, what is the difference, Sandy? The difference is when you get the requirement, the tester started to write the test cases. And you might thinking, how is that going to work? Is anyone thinking? Because there's no coding, the developers not, even my developers will be thinking, there's no code, nothing to hand over, and you're asking me to start writing the test cases. How is it going to work? It will fail. Of course it will fail. There's no code. The point is, yes, let it fail. But the thing is, when you get the requirements in hand, if you're any testers, you'll understand my pain. If you get the requirements, and you start writing the test case, so what happens is, as the developers work by, you start writing the test cases. As hand in hand, parallel, it goes on. So you have loads of time to think, you loads of things to assess, read the requirements. Yes, this doesn't work for everyone. You have questions, hold on to the questions, I will answer them. It doesn't work for every time, but it works for requirements that are signed off properly and you know what you're doing. So when you do that, so the testers, normally what happens, once the code is finished, you hand over to a tester, come on, finish it off the work. The testers are in a hurry, write the code, they don't have time to think, because testers are holistic. They have to think high end of thinking, they have to think complex, they have to think out of the box. The reason is, if anything happens and fails and goes to a customer, whose brain? Tester missed it. Why is the tester missed it? You back the tester because you gave the code to them, give 5 days of time, pushing them, did not give time to think, because testers are something you have to think out of box, that is called as boundary testing, which you not get the time. Whereas this shift shell automation is very, very popular in America. What happens is they are testing, coding, they are testers writing the test as it goes by, and developers developing on the side as well. So this gives them communication, bonding between developers and QAs. You know what? I started to write this test case and I think something else. This is most out of my boundary. Did you think, oh, I didn't think about it. So what happens is, when he's doing the test cases, thinking out of the boundary, the developer is coding and he's thinking out of the boundary, because he's communicating, parallel communication is going on, so they're fixing at a time. If not, developer does the code, hand it over to tester test it, oh, there's a bug, go back. Again, because by the time he might have finished most of the work and he has to go back, read the code, again do it. Again bug. Now, what is happening? Time consuming, too much of time is wasted. Too much, no parallel communication. Developer, I work in my way, tester, I work. No, that's not the way. That is what shift left is. Whereas identify key practices. Where is the error? What is coming? Giving time for tester to think out of boundary, as I said. How good the Apple phone is. How amazing it is. If it does not do the job a user wants to do, because loads of people are layman people are using it. They use it the way they want. They are not technical. They wanted to do the job because I paid that money. So that is how people are. For that time, you need to give someone who is doing the job, delivering the product, give time to think and think out of the box. That is what it is. Identify the feedback thing, collaborate on requirements, define the acceptance criteria, implementing testing framework, ensure the standard is met, and meet user expectations. Very important. You have to meet the user expectation. That is very, very key product. That is the reason the shift shell automation comes in the thing. But as I said, yes, it doesn't work for every company, but if you have a standard practice, this is one of the amazing things you can start doing, which gives loads of time, and you won't believe this has happened in America, and this change a revelation, and where the testing practices improved, and because of that, the amount of bug is reduced and the collaboration with the team is improved. Because the main important thing is collaboration with each other. Developer and testers have to collaborate. So same thing with API, that is the backend, same thing is the thing. What happens is, it's independent testing with API. You don't need to wait till the front end is finished, because then when you have built, no, it's independent, test the backend. It's absolutely fine. Parallel development, developers do the job, testers keep doing the job. Early detection of backend issues. So we found the issues early rather than bouncing back and forth, interact with each other. That means you're detecting the early thing, you're saving the time. Saving the time means what? Saving the cost, because developers and QA salaries are higher. Cost-effective bug, and fixing, that means you're fixing the bug immediately, even before it's reaching the QA. So just, oh, I got it, I fixed it, that's fine. Go to improved integration testing. That is one of the important things, is that the developer also think, oh, I have to test that, think of that one, this one. So what happens is, it's a good interaction, and where the scalability and the profit is good. So we got everything. Okay, shift shell automation is amazing. Yeah, it does work. Does it have disadvantage? Anything in this world have disadvantage. Yes, it does. Increase initial investment. Of course, anything has initial investment. Skill gaps in team, especially if I tell even my own team, oh, something we're going to change. Oh, Sandy, why are we going to change? My developers are the friend, because they tell me all the time. Because no one likes change, is it? Because we have to get used to it. And maintenance challenges there, complexity in test design because you're not used to shifter thing. All the question is, oh, I like the way developers do the job first, then they give it to me, then they explain to me, then I start writing the test case, then it will go. Then. That is what everyone likes. That is thing. Emphasis on automation. Oh, that's how. Cultural resistance. Simple thing. I said, I don't want to do the way it is. It's old. I never heard about it. I'm not going to do it. I want the old style. Let the developers do the job first. Give it to me. Let me do it later. That is what it is. Yes. So these are the things. But what is the best thing now happening is, as I said, I'm not going to take the highlights of what we're going to speak on AI. But I have to say, as I told you, there are loads of pros before and cons there. Sorry, with no other pros, cons there. And this is amazingly changed with AI. So because AI has come, and I've literally seen the code happening as well, because of AI, skill gaps, maintenance challenge, complexity, overemphasis on automation, everything can change. What they did is, once they write the code, they put the AI, they use Gemini mostly, I think, and they started to do that, and they rewrite the code. The AI is doing the job literally for them. Any mistake, they said, oh, that configuration is wrong, change it, and it writes a few things. So the skill gap, you need to have skill. That doesn't mean a doctor can come and do automation testing. No, you need to know your thing. Even if you're a developer, your tester, in Stack Overflow, you need to know where to ask the question, when to ask the question, what to ask the question, where to put the code. Basic knowledge is important. With that basic knowledge, these skill gaps can be completely, all these cons can completely, apart from the initial investment, all these can be gone because AI is mostly helping us to take all our cons into pros. You'll be happy to know that I'm going to finish the talk soon. So, 2025, you saw what's happened. Yes, we are doing amazingly well. Everything is going perfectly fine. So what is now future direction from 2025 to 2030 or whatever it is? I don't know how far it is. AI, I saw in LinkedIn and things like this. Is AI going to cut down the people? No, AI is empowering. Is the way you use it. It's not going to take testers away. It's not going to take anyone's job away. That's my personal feeling. You can say I'm wrong. I'm absolutely fine with that. But I think AI is empowering you. So giving the tester the time to think, the time to reflect, the time to think out of the box and think more in informative ways. That is what it is doing. It's not taking anyone's job out, as far as I know. Especially it's giving QA to have more time because you are very, very important. As I say, any developer said that I'm not offending. Developers think in one way. QA has to think in a holistic way. And always say that if you developers don't make mistakes, where will QA get the jobs? We have to have a jobs, right? So how are we going to get? They do because they want the code to work. That's all the aim is. But QA job is not to code to work. The QA code has to work and not the way they ask, more than the way I ask. Because I know you write a massive essay, you look into it, very happy with the essay, you submit to a teacher, reading. Why is that? Teacher sees in a different perspective way. That doesn't mean teacher is wrong. No. You didn't think out of the box. That is the reason you got reading all the way in your massive 300 pages, lacking beautiful paper. This thing is people. We are serving people who are laymen, who are different, many different types of people. So we need to understand how are we going to. So we need to have time to think, recap. That is what is AI doing for you, to giving you time, energy, and space to have a thing. So it's reduce human errors, efficiency testing, covers loads of test coverage. Repetitive task is gone, give you time and ask you, okay, you finish a test, oh, I didn't think about it, let me add. Or if it's manual, you have to do everything step at a time. No need to do that. Generate AI, card engineering, focus on metrics. So overall, AI will help you and will empower you, not take you out of anything you have or you know. It's just going to boost your confidence more. Just you need to know how to use it in a right way. That means it will help you and make our life better with automation. So that is all from me, I think. Thank you. If you have any questions, don't ask me now. I'll try my best to answer later. Thank you.
Finish my speech.
Okay. Did I?
Thank you.
Excellent. Fine.